One of the cool things about Metal Gear games is their emphasis on replayability, especially in the expanded versions like Metal Gear Solid 2 Substance and Metal Gear Solid 3 Subsistence. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater is no different, with tons to do and collect after the story wraps. But how exactly does it all work? We're here to break it down for you, and while we may show some post-game menu options, we'll do our best to not spoil anything major from the story. Here's what to do in Metal Gear Solid Delta after the credits roll. Yes, there is a New Game Plus. When you finish the story, you can make a clear game save, shown by the green number in the top left of your save thumbnail. Continuing this clear game save file will prompt you to start a new game on the same save file. When continuing from a clear game save this way, you'll start the next playthrough with the weapons and camo you got as rewards for beating the game, namely the ones that show up full screen after the credits, and all the camo you collected during your last playthrough, including the outfits you received from defeating bosses non-lethally. If you simply start a new game from the main menu, not by continuing a clear game save, you'll still start with the weapons, items, and camo you received from beating the game, but not the camo patterns you collected during your playthrough. And other than these special weapons, items, and camo patterns, you don't take anything else with you into a new game or New Game Plus. So none of the weapons, items, or food you received during your last playthrough. You'll also see a split in the Records and Titles tab between Records Now, which shows the stats for the current playthrough, and Records Total, which is the sum of all your playthroughs. The Karotan frogs, ducks, and film reels that you shoot or collect in different areas will also stay consistent across save files. If you get a particular one and then immediately quit or load another save file, you'll still have that one unlocked, so you can jump around to different files at different areas to make finding them easier, without having to stay on the same playthrough. Can you play after the credits? No, the end of the story is the end. You can just start over with a leg up like we mentioned previously. But you can now play Guy Savage from the main menu, the Castlevania parody you play during Snake's Nightmare in the main story, regardless of whether or not you unlocked it while playing. And this time, it's a little bit extended. Beating the story on Extreme also unlocks the special European Extreme mode, which will give you a game over as soon as the enemy detects you. Is there a world state change after beating the game? Well, considering the whole point of the mission is to stop World War III, I certainly hope not. There is much to do after wrapping the main story. While the Snake vs. Monkey mode, or Snake vs. Bomberman mode if you're playing on Xbox, is unlocked from the beginning, you continue to unlock more stages for it as you travel through the main game. And aside from replaying the story with game-changing weapons, there are a ton of titles to collect. These range from simple and goofy things like making a bunch of manual saves in a playthrough, or clearing the story with a leech on your body, all the way to earning the Foxhound title, which means beating it on Extreme in 5 or less hours, while using no continues, raising no alerts, killing no humans, with 20 major injuries or less, 5 life bars of damage taken or less, no life medicine used, and no special items used. Thankfully, this will also get you a trophy/achievement. Many of the other trophies are for doing interesting things or using missable mechanics, such as throwing poisonous animals at soldiers. Between the titles and trophies, there's just a ton of incentive to make MGS Delta your playground, with a bunch of corners you can poke at. Aside from these special commendations, there's also the Demo Theater, Secret Theater, and Character Viewer. These unlock after completing the game. The Demo Theater is a collection of all the cutscenes, and the unlockable branching paths are grayed out in the playable menu, giving you hints about where you might unlock extra scenes during a playthrough. You can also open your camouflage and equip special outfits that Snake will then be wearing during the cutscene, in case the opening song didn't already make this enough of a Bond game. There's also the Secret Theater, which is a collection of old joke cutscenes that were originally included in the MGS3 re-release, Subsistence. Unlike Subsistence, however, these secret videos are unlocked in-game by holding up enemies that have 8mm film reels. Once you complete the story once, the Secret Theater menu will tell you which zones you can find these particular enemies in. And finally, the Character Viewer gives you high-quality assets of all the characters and enemies you'll encounter, as well as brief histories and information about them if you'd like a little bit more lore or some fun voice lines.
The flames of my rage will incinerate you.
As you can see, there is a ton to do and unlock after completing the Snake Eater story. If you need some stealth tips to get you through your various sneaking missions, make sure you check out our nearly 20-minute stealth guide. And for everything else gaming, you're already in the right place. IGN.